And welcome back to the Northeast Florida Surf Fishing Forecast for March 2nd through the 4th. We're into the month of March, guys, and a lot of good fishing ahead. This video was shot in Ponte Vedra Beach Monday mid-morning. Very dirty water, west-southwest winds, 15 to 20 with higher gust. And it didn't get much better throughout the day, guys. This water turned to complete mud. At the end of this video, there's several sections showing what's going on at the pier and how dirty the water is and why I don't fish in Jack's Beach right now. You'll see why, because there is absolutely no cuts, completely flat, and just not conducive to a lot of good fishing. But the next few days, it's going to be interesting as we get into talking about the wind forecast. The big whiting tournament is also Tuesday, March 2nd, and it's going to be rough. Like I was saying, for the whiting tournament Tuesday, tomorrow, it's in the evening here, northeast winds 20 to 30 with rain. That's what the forecast says. And like I've said before on some of these videos, usually when they call for northeast, you can add 5 to 10 miles to that forecast because they can never seem to get that forecast right. It's always stronger than what they call for. And then you turn around on Wednesday, you have west, northwest 15 to 20. So you're gonna go from 5 to 6 foot surf. Then you get the west wind that'll knock down the surf some, but there's still gonna be good swells coming in, guys. And then on Thursday, which looks the best day out of the next three, northeast 5 to 10. Still 3 foot surf, but it'll be fishable on the outgoing tide. I'm hoping as we get out of this area of the negative low tides, the fish will start to move back into the sloughs and cuts. Like I was saying, I got some video after all of this showing you what they're doing at the pier, how low the tide was today with the negative low. In fact, it was the lowest I've ever seen it since the pier has actually been there. When it was open, I've never even seen it this low. So when it's low like that, those fish are out of the trough and over the sandbar out into the deeper water. So we need to get out of these negative low tides and things will return back to normal. Good news is the water temperature warmed up to 62 in Jack's Beach, 63, 64 in Flagler, and 64 in Daytona area. There's some reports of scattered pompano in these areas. So it won't be long if we continue on a warming trend, which this week, it started off really hot on Monday. But it's gonna cool off towards the end of the week. I saw some 60s, lows in the low 50s, just enough to keep that water from really warming up. But as you know, with March, it doesn't take long. And once that water hits 65 degrees, you better have your rigs ready because things are gonna go nuts. The whiting bite, they'll be slamming. They're already slamming, but they'll be much more hungrier. We'll start to see the scattered pompano showing up, and by the time the water temperature hits 68, 69, Pompano City, guys, there'll be black drum showing up, redfish showing up. There's already some bluefish showing up in the surf, and the Spanish mackerel. March, about mid-March, the fishing here in Northeast Florida really picks up in the surf with a wide variety of species, which makes it fun for all of us. So it's not just whiting. I'm not complaining. We've been eating a lot of whiting and they're quite tasty, guys. We've put a lot in the freezer so we can eat on them throughout the summer, and we've been giving a lot of friends and family whiting. It's a good fish to give away. It freezes well and it lasts a long time, and everybody I've given it to hasn't had an issue and they like it. So if you catch a lot of whiting, and you have some friends who like to eat fish, call them up and say, hey, come pick them up. Make them clean it, right? But the big whiting tournament's tomorrow, Tuesday. It's gonna be rough. So hopefully some people will get some fish. It seems like every single tournament we have in this area, including the El Cheapo, which has been moved several times to try to get out of the crazy weather. Seems like the northeast wind always finds us. So it's something we have to get used to. But there'll be some fish weighed in, a lot of good fishermen fishing it. I can't fish it this month, but I plan on fishing it next month. So next month should be a lot of big fish as well. That's about all I got. There's still sheephead in the river. trout, reds. Even though it's been a little bit slow with these tides, if you have a boat and you're going in the river, really know your spots well when you're fishing with negative low tides. Over the weekend, I saw three or four boats that ended up on sand, and they had to wait several hours for the water to come back in to get out. Also, I'll have a video up sometime tomorrow, just showing the Carolina rig. I've had a few people ask that they're having issues with it getting tangled up. It's just a few little simple techniques that I do to keep that from happening. Of course, the main one is I use fluorocarbon because that doesn't really tangle up too bad. If you're using regular mono, it tends to hold the memory quite heavy, and so all it takes is one little twist, and that twist stays there and it just continues to grow. So we'll have that on there, and hope that'll help you guys out. Over the weekend, lots of whiting were caught. There were some in Jack's Beach, but pretty much South Jack's Beach, south in the Ponte Vedra and Volano. Diet Pepsi shrimp was the main go-to for all the people I talked to. Fish bites was also catching some fish. But if you didn't have either of those, didn't seem like too much was going on. And most of the fish were hitting on top of the sandbar, guys. And that's what they did about 2.5 weeks ago when we had negative low tides, all on top of the sandbars. So remember that from now on, when you have negative low tides, I wrote that down in the little log book I keep. The negatives, it seems like the whiting are on the sandbars about 2 hours in to incoming. So hope that helps. We'll have that video up tomorrow. Stay tuned. We got some updates on the pier coming up. And why I don't fish Jack's Beach right now, you'll see, flat as a pancake. And tight lines, guys, and I'll see you back on Thursday. So at the Jack's Beach Pier, we got the next cap on, so now they got 2 sets of pilings done. You're sitting there set. And this is where it's going to start to rise. As you see, there's the pier house. Come on down. Starting at this section, it's going to start to go up. So you got 1 set ready. And they've already started cutting these guys off, the old pilings. See how they're chopping them. We got the next set. You got it set. And these will be coming out next. There's the 3rd set of pilings they have set right here, guys. They've already got the cap on. They got this one done extremely fast, so I don't know if it's hard for you to see it from here. So right there is where it's up much higher, so you go along. It's a substantial increase. Right there is where it starts, and then you can see it goes up quite higher. So by the time it gets out to the end, I think it's going to be 7 to 8 foot higher than the original height. So hopefully that'll protect it against future hurricanes to some extent. But it's pretty cool. They're starting to move along. That crane out there is the one that's removing debris off the end. They've been working on that for about 2 weeks now. On the pier camera today, they're moving quite a bit of it today, so that's good. As you can see, the water is muddy, guys. West, southwest all day. And that's the result. It usually is when it blows 15 to 20 like that. Just wanted to show you guys something. This is one of the newer pilings. And look at that. It does not take long for barnacles to start growing on there, man. So by the time this pier is done, there's going to be barnacles all over these pilings. That's awesome. These are the old pilings that'll be coming out. So they're covered. So the sheephead will be ready to eat when it opens up. A lot more area for them too. There's 4 pilings to a set this time versus 3, and much wider. It's going to be real easy to lay that egg sinker Carolina rig right on that piling and let the sheephead blast it. Can't wait, guys. This is Jack's Beach, guys. This is why I don't fish here that much right now. The beach is completely flat. Look at this. This is dead low tide on a negative low. and it is flat as a board. Now there are sandbars, as you can see right there. But my goodness, on a negative low tide, you're just wasting your time because the sandbar is so shallow and so close. Further down, it looks like there's a few sandbars out further, but we're supposed to get a northeaster, one-day northeaster event, of course, on the day of the big WT whiting tournament. So that should rearrange some sand, guys. And this weekend we got another northeaster possibly coming with seas offshore 15 to 20, so that'll move some sand. But honestly, I've never seen the tide this low. When the pier was here all the way, I've never seen it this low. This would have been more than halfway out on the pier. But just thought I'd share it. Got a little bit of info tidbits all throughout this video today.